Welcome to T&N TV Podcast. This is going to be episode 2 today. Basically, the big heavyweight fight coming up. Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, the rematch. It's going to be, again, for all the marbles at heavyweight. Is it going to be revenge or is it going to be repeat? That's the big question.
That is the big question.
Yeah, so what do you think, man? $1 million?
It's a big fight, man. I can't wait. And I'm hoping Fury will do the job.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm hoping.
Tyson Fury, obviously it was a close fight, the first fight. The decision went to Usyk. He got it on the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
But Tyson Fury was definitely a live dog. He was in the fight. He did pretty well in spurts. He hurt Usyk in bits. He made him back up, etc. So definitely, it wasn't like a runaway. There's a good reason for this rematch to basically happen.
He gave Fury a good fight, yeah. And he done well in the fight, yeah.
Yeah, so again, the main thing is Alexander Usyk going to be able to overcome Tyson Fury in the rematch? What are Usyk's keys to success here? What does Usyk have to do to be victorious again?
Yeah, personally, I don't think he needs to do much. I don't think he needs to change much. He showed a bit of versatility in that fight. He fought at some period on the back foot, and then he was the aggressor at some point. So I don't know. What do you reckon? I don't think he needs to change too much.
Yeah, I think
Fury has to do more of the change.
Yeah, I suspect that's the case because obviously Usyk already knows how Tyson Fury fights. He's already shared 12 rounds in the ring with him, so he's got some familiarity of how Fury's movements are, what his punch angles, how they come, what his punch power is, all this kind of stuff. So I think for Usyk it's just trying to come in the best physical shape possible without without injuries. If he can help it, basically, again, because injuries can be a tough, unpredictable thing. But if you can minimize the injuries, come in good shape, then I think mentally Usyk's going to think that, you know what, I've done it before, I know what I need to do mentally, I can do it again, basically.
Yeah, true.
Whereas I think with Fury, there's a bit more pressure on Fury in a way where he needs to sort of do a bit of a redemption. Yeah, he needs to do a redemption arc where he needs to show people that the first fight he may have either underestimated Usyk or made some mistakes.
Didn't train, maybe had an injury
and didn't train properly, etc. Yeah,
but what we do know, I think Frank Warren mentioned in an interview that his wife had a miscarriage or something.
Yeah, and again, your emotional state probably has a big bearing on how you're going to perform in the ring. If you've got some serious life issues going on,
and
that could affect your performance.
Definitely. And another thing, I think Andy Lee was saying Tyson didn't really spar for the first fight.
For the first one, yeah.
Apparently. So we don't know, innit?
Yeah, and that's the rumours. Though. Obviously, you have to take some of that with a pinch of salt because we don't really know what goes in Tyson's training camp.
Yeah.
But in terms of if that is true, if Andy Lee is correct that Fury didn't have the opportunity to spar, then that would obviously have a negative adverse effect on Fury's performance.
Yeah.
And Fury does seem to do, he mentioned this himself in the press conference, that I think Fury does do quite well in a rematch. He always seems to perform better sometimes than in the original fight. For instance, the Deontay Wilder rematch, the second fight, Fury was way better in that one than he was in the original one. He deployed
the right tactic, I think, for that fight.
And he was in way better shape because I think the initial fight he had with Deontay Wilder, Fury was clearly out of shape badly still. And he, I'm sure, admits it himself that he goes, okay, the condition in the second fight was way better. You could see he was more trim, more toned, and he was sort of, had more energy and he could sustain it for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And again, the questions are going to be if Tyson Fury is also himself going to be injury-free, can he have a good training camp this time around without any sort of issues getting in the way of him basically being able to perform at his best?
I've heard Tyson Fury in a couple of interviews mention that he ain't going to change too much in the fight. Okay. The only thing he probably will do is be a bit more switched on and cut out on the showboating.
Which he did do. I mean, that showboating stuff that he did in the first fight, some of that is basically ring generalship or ring craft, as they call it, right? You want to catch the eye of the judges, plus at the same time you want to entertain the crowd and get the crowd on your side. So then basically people kind of look upon you more favourably during the fight, right? It does play, some people have that skill, they can showboat and they can actually do it in an effective way. Yeah. And other fighters, obviously, they just can't do it. They're all business. They can't sort of come out of themselves almost in a way to actually entertain people in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. Not wait too long. Long to go for the fight.
Too long to go as well.
I'm hoping Fury does the job.
Yeah, and again, the question is, if Fury again loses to Usyk, like, is that basically end of Tyson Fury? Where does he go from there? Like, it's almost like a must-win fight for him, isn't it?
What do you think, anyway? Like,
well, it's a tough one. I mean, if he loses to Usyk, and also depending on what the nature of the defeat is, if he, let's say, gets knocked out and he looks bad, then people are gonna call for him to sort of chuck it in and retire and say, look, you've done all you could do.
I mean, look, if it's a 12-round fight and Fury gives it his all and tries his best, then no one can knock him for that, innit?
If he don't win. And if he wins, then if he does actually succeed and wins, then you know what's going to happen. Even if he wins on points or whether he wins by knockout, either or, if Fury wins, 100% there's going to be a third trilogy fight.
Yeah,
it's going to turn into a trilogy.
Definitely, it will. I think it will. It'll be 1-1, innit?
Yeah, so it's almost from the promoter's point of view and from the organizer's point of view, the best possible outcome is a Fury win, because that way they get to double dip and double their money yet again and have that trilogy fight, which will basically cement the rivalry. Because obviously he had a trilogy with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
So again, if he is able to pull it out of the bag and actually beat Usyk, then that clearly will open up the door for the third and final fight.
Definitely, my opinion is for Fury to win, he's got how he fought Steve Cunningham after Cunningham knocked him down, and then Tyson Fury flipped the switch, and then he took it to him, innit? He's got to do some of that, and he's got to do what he done to Wilder on the second fight. He's got to take the fight to him. And stick it on him and be the bigger man.
Yeah, impose his size this time, right?
Because look, the fight, from what I remember, it weren't like they both done well in their fight. In the fight, they both had their moments. Obviously, Usyk knocked Fury down, and so Tyson Fury he connected a few good punches on him. So
he clearly hurt.
It weren't like very one-sided. I think we'll hit round 9 when Fury got knocked down. That was easily Usyk round, innit? But Fury done well in the fight, and
especially he had success in spurts where he had a couple of rounds which were clearly Fury rounds. So I think it wasn't one-sided at all.
Yeah,
so
I think he's got a chance to win.
Yeah, and if he performs better,
I'm hoping he does win, but yeah.
And I guess obviously we're here in the UK, we're in Britain, so we are a tad biased towards the British fighters.
Yeah, I want the British guy to win, mate. All the way.
There you go. But again, respects to Usyk, because obviously if Usyk wins now, so we've discussed the possibility if Fury wins, then it's likely there'll be a third trilogy fight.
Yeah.
But if Usyk wins, either on points or even with a knockout, then it's highly likely that there won't be a trilogy. And then the question is open, will Usyk then retire and call it a day, or when will he chase another big payday after that? Because assuming he defeats Tyson Fury, who's left for him there in the division? Is there like another big name?
I think he should retire, but if he had another fight, I won't be surprised, because they would be offering him quite a lot of money, and
especially if it's like Riyadh season, right? That would be a different paycheck. Compared to a regular.
Yeah, definitely.
And also the question then is that, does he have a dance partner? Meaning if he does beat Tyson Fury, then who would be
maybe Daniel Dubois again?
Yeah, Daniel Dubois gave him a very close run. Some people actually say that Daniel Dubois won that fight, and they sort of robbed him for the low blow controversy.
I don't think that was a low blow, but
a lot of people think it was borderline, and it was acceptable, and it was fine. And Usyk made a big a meal out of it, right? He made a big deal of being hit low, where it was just a single shot that hit him. To be fair, it wasn't even a string of shots; it was just one shot. And the judge at the time, as the referee, he deemed it to be below the belt, but on the replay you could clearly see it didn't appear to be a low blow at all. So it could be that Usyk maybe doesn't like body punches either, and is susceptible to them. So if Daniel Dubois was to get that bite at the cherry, so to speak, especially after his big win on against Anthony Joshua, then it makes sense that would be a big money fight. You know, people would be intrigued. Okay, it was close the last time, and the young man was denied by a little bit.
Yeah, innit?
But this time
I predicted that fight correctly.
Oh yeah. We're talking about the AJ Dubois. Yeah, of course, yeah. Because a lot of people were betting against Dubois. They had AJ picked as the favorite, I suppose, is the way. But Dubois definitely redeemed himself, didn't he, in that fight?
Definitely. But going back to Fury Usyk, how do you think Usyk will win? What do you think he needs to do?
I think he'll do exactly the same as he did in the first fight. He'll have spurts where he's very sharp, he's very accurate, quite powerful and precise, and he will, trouble and hurt Fury. And once he's got Fury hurt, he'll try to systematically finish him off like he tried in the first fight. Now, he failed to stop Fury, but he did come close. I mean, Fury was clearly in some... Fury is very good, actually, at managing difficult situations.
Powers of recovery.
Yeah, powers of recovery and crisis management. Like, when Fury's in a crisis, he seems to do quite well. Like, he knows how to clinch
How many times have you seen a fighter getting clocked and they're trying their best to get up really quickly?
They can't do it.
And they seem to forget it's a 10-round count. Take your time, get a breather, try to clear your head, get up on the 7th, get up on the 8th, man.
That happens with all the fights. They get up too quick and then they're unsteady on their legs, and the referee basically waves them off and says, look, you look like you're completely out of it at that point. Or alternatively, they get up too fast, and then the other guy comes in and basically quickly finishes them off because they haven't had the time to recuperate. But I think Fury is very experienced.
That's what I was just about to say. All that comes with experience. But like you're saying, Fury is...
he knows how to clinch you. He knows how to use his legs to keep distance away from you. So he has very good survival skills, I'd say. But I mean, it's going to be fascinating. Again, like, whoever the winner is, they're probably, arguably the best heavyweight in the world. And again, to me, if Usyk does actually win this fight, then the only fight that does make sense is the Dubois fight. I can't see him fighting any of the other sort of challengers out there. There's no point fighting AJ. There's no point fighting any of the other sort of people in the orbit, like your Joseph Parkers or your Martin Bacolis and people like that. So, end of the day, I think Usyk will entertain either one more, or he might just call it a day and actually retire. I doubt that he would. You
never know. He might have one more fight at cruiserweight.
I just think it's difficult to come down once you've gained that weight and you're quite heavy. Probably a career heavy for Usyk, anyways. For him to then cut that weight and come down to cruiser.
If he did do that, I don't think he'll do it straight away. He'll probably be tactical about it.
Take his time.
Take your time, innit? Take your time.
But still, like,
keep ticking over.
It's never a good thing to cut weight. Once you're gaining weight and you're getting older, you always have to go up. I mean, look what happened to Roy Jones when he cut it.
He tried to cut it too quickly.
And the Tarver thing was a disaster. That was like the...
Tarver had a good right hand.
Yeah, he did. But again, like, I'm sure Roy Jones, if you were to ask him today, like, would you do things differently? He probably would have said, look, I would have retired at heavyweight. Undefeated as well.
He was trying to literally break the record. I think his plan was to win the heavyweight belt, defend it, but then go back down to light heavy.
Light heavy or cruiser. Cruiser?
I think it was light heavy.
Light heavy, that's too much of a leap.
I don't know, was it light heavy? I can't remember.
Well, I guess Tarver, it would have been cruiser, I think. I think it may have been cruiser. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check. But
the last guy to do that done it like 100 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still like... when you try to break records, that's when bad things happen. That's when you push yourself too far, and then
quickly talking about records. One record which I think won't be maybe broken in quite a long time is that the youngest ever heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
I don't see that record.
No,
quickly talking about records in that.
Yeah, you're right, and it's for multiple reasons as well. Like, some people are saying that Moses Atuma guy. He's 19.
That's a good chat, but you know what? He got a chance because Frank Warren can match him up with Daniel Dubois, didn't it?
Yes, but I still think it won't happen. It won't happen. Why? The reason is because the politics of boxing now. Everything takes longer to arrange fights.
They're both in-house fighters, though.
Yeah. So if Dubois is now a world champion, but the thing is, Dubois might not want to fight Ituma, and the reasons for Dubois is not because Dubois is afraid.
They spar together.
Yeah, it's not because he's afraid of him or anything. It's just is he a big enough name? Like Dubois would say, look, I want the best guys, the biggest names in the division. For Dubois, that would be your Usyks, that would be your Furies, that would be people of that ilk. This Moses Atuma guy is too young to roar.
Dubois beat AJ, so Dubois' name holds a bit of weight now.
Yeah, Dubois' name holds weight. Moses Atuma is just he's starting out. He's so far away from.
You know what? If they do want to break that record, the easiest route to a title fight will be Dubois.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Tyson, correct me if I'm wrong, was youngest heavyweight champion at 2021. I think it was 21, wasn't it? I think it was
21 or 20.
Yeah, either 21 or 20. But even then, like that means that this Atuma would only have maximum of 2 years to reach that goal, and that's not possible in 2 years. Being this green, Dubois not going to fight him in 2 years, and Dubois might lose the title in 2 years because the heavyweight picture can also change. That's the other thing.
But I think if they carry on bringing Atuma on, one thing with Queensberry, they know how to match me, man. They know how to get a fighter, build him up, and make him into a big fighter, like an attraction. So if they keep rolling Atuma out and they give him good fights and he wins and he's out regularly, you never know. In 2 years, I reckon he'll be more than ready, man.
Yeah,
2 years of pure fighting and training.
Activity depends on activity, depends on injuries.
Of course,
so many little things that need to fall into place for him to even have the chance.
True.
And then if he does get the chance, he actually has to win it as well, and not lose the fight.
A lot of fighters get injured.
Yeah,
a lot of fighters get injured.
And it could be the smallest thing, but if it happens that the record doesn't wait for anyone, that's the thing. If you miss your boat, you miss your boat. Even if you are a couple of days over the thing, the record is still not yours, isn't it? Someone else's. So if you miss
that record, I personally think, man, ain't gonna get broken in a long time, man. If whoever breaks it, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, because back in them days, Tyson used to fight a lot. He was super active. In his first year of being a pro, he fought some crazy amount of times.
More than 15 times.
Yeah, and people don't do that no more. They don't fight every month. That's just unheard of. Maybe if you're lucky and you're active, you'll probably fight 4 or 5 times max.
Yeah, I remember Huey Fury in his first year or two, he fought quite a lot, man.
But again, that must have been like outside of the country.
But he's had a lot of medical
issues and So his career has been stop.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So I think he's back now, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, to conclude, super exciting rematch. Tyson Fury versus.
To conclude, who are you going for?
I'm going for the repeat. I'm going for Usyk to repeat the same thing on points.
No, there's bumping it.
Points, No, I'm not saying obviously I prefer Tyson to actually win as a fan, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Usyk is going to pull off the mission and probably retire afterwards as a sort of an undefeated heavyweight unified champion.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping, man, Tyson Fury wins. I like Tyson Fury. I'm a Tyson Fury fan. Usyk's got a chance to win. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm going to pick Tyson Fury.
Yeah, because, I'm guessing Usyk will probably be a slight favourite this time with betting odds. Because he's done it the first time, it's more likely that people will favour him this time.
I think if there is a heavyweight at the moment that could be capable, it's got to be Tyson Fury, especially because, look, this is a rematch fight. If he's learnt from the first fight, and he's obviously been in the ring with him now, so he'll know in person how he moves and certain tricks he does or whatever.
Yeah, they both know each other.
So if he does his homework, right, he's big enough and he's got the skill, and he can get the win. It will be a hard fight, and it'll be a tactical fight. But if he goes there and puts it on him.
And he's still got Sugar Hill as his trainer, right? He's not left Sugar Hill.
Yeah, because where my thing is, you can run, but you can't hide. Not in a squared circle.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a squared circle. You can run, but you can't hide. It's a 12-round fight. During that fight, you're going to get hit. You're going to get pressed. You're going to get hurt. So it depends how they deal with it, and who sticks to the game plan and what have you not.
So it should be another.
Hopefully,
probably the biggest fight of the last big fight of the year, right? So that's the last one.
Hopefully Tyson Fury does it for British boxing, and
it sets up a tantalising trilogy fight.
Beats the shit out of that dude, and come on, Tyson.
Beats the brakes of Usyk.
Tyson's a good guy, man. He does a lot of charity. Obviously, he gets a lot of. He used to get a lot of bad press in the past, but he's a good guy. He's a family man. And he's a good champion, and
Yeah, so now
behind the camera, he's a good person, Tyson Fury.
Now it's your turn to tell us, what your predictions are, what you think will happen.
You all got to let us know who you think
in the comments.
And why you think, and just
give us your prediction, and we'll know. We'll make it more spicy to know what the outcome is.
So hopefully we see how it goes. If Fury wins, then I personally think he won't retire. He maybe got 1-2 more fights left in him.
No, he clearly said he wants to carry on. So
But who do you reckon he will fight? Or
well, if he wins, I think he'll have to do the trilogy fight. I think he'll be tied in. There'll be one apiece, and then they'll be forced to do the trilogy. So then, assuming he goes and fights the third one and wins that again, then after that, probably one more against. Hard to say, whoever's the top guy at the time.
Yeah.
But that's only going to be, assuming he wins this one in, end of this year, the rematch is going to be sometime next year. So assuming late on next year, rematch, well, not the rematch, but the trilogy fight happens, then after that, we're looking at a year after, like, today's date. So it's so hard to predict who will be, like, the top dog. Like, obviously, if Tyson wins them 2 fights, he's the top dog. So then everyone will be scrambling and hoping that they get a chance at Tyson Fury. So then it's just a question of whoever's in the best position possible. Could be Dubois, could be someone else. If someone gets hot and has a couple of good fights.
Fury and AJ will happen? Are you bothered about that?
No, man. I think that boat.
You don't think that will happen?
No.
I don't think it will happen.
That boat is settled.
But to be fair, I'm not really too hyped up about that fight. Before I was, but
yeah, everything's timing, man, and that opportunity is gone. Because AJ's lost, and if he fights next, whoever AJ fights next, he might lose that one too. So it's like one of them ones.
Like he might look out. Back in the day when they were talking about it was being called like it would be a big fight between Tyson Fury and David Price.
Yeah.
That fight got a lot of people talking, but it never happened.
Never happened. And even like with this one, for instance, the only way I can see it maybe happening is if Fury loses to Usyk the second fight. Then he won't have a third fight with Usyk.
Do you reckon he will retire?
No, then he could fight AJ because he's lost, AJ's lost, so it kind of makes sense to have that one farewell fight. Then it would make sense.
Then that wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would make more sense in fight.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a bigger fight how it would have been if they fought 3 years.
If they're both determined to fight each other, then this is how they would be able to go about it. Because otherwise, it just doesn't make sense.
If that fight happens, we'll probably make a prediction video. But quickly right now, who do you reckon?
Between them two, I'd say Fury.
I'd say Fury, man. From day dot. I'll say Tyson Fury.
Just like stylistically as well, and in terms of what they've still got left.
Yeah,
I think AJ's just at this moment he's just not in the right frame of mind. I don't think to be able to.
I feel like friends asked me what's the difference between them. I said my opinion was when AJ went into a boxing gym, he had to be shown, he had to be taught, how to throw a jab, how to throw a cross. They had to show him the correct way. But with Tyson Fury, when he went into the gym, he pretty much knew how to throw a jab.
He's a natural born fighter. It's in his blood, isn't it? It's just in his DNA, it's in his makeup, that's who he is.
Yeah. I mean, not taking nothing away from AJ, because AJ's the man, he's more a good fighter, and I like AJ as well.
Yeah. But AJ is like a product of hard work, training, and all that stuff, whereas Fury was just a raw fighter, basically, in his his core soul, in it. That's what he
definitely is.
If he wasn't fighting in the ring, he'd probably be fighting in the streets.
He's got it in the blood, man.
Yeah, he's got it in the blood, exactly. It makes sense in his Irish traveller history, so ancestry. So it makes sense that he's a natural born fighter.
Natural born, mate.
And on that note, T&N TV, we're signing out. And let us know your predictions.
Make sure you lot subscribe.
Yeah, that's it. Subscribe
and
to
drop your comments.
That's it. T&N TV, and we're out.